Hi, IGTV and YouTube. Welcome back to my weekly update. I am a little casual today. I've had a very busy weekend. I was catching up on a lot of admin stuff today and just really didn't have time to put myself together, which happens sometimes on Mondays. So I'm sorry that I don't look so great for these videos every now and then, but I'm here to give the information and that's what's important, right? So updates. So the CMI, the market index that I talk about every week, it's gone up again. We're at 356. It has not gone down, and that's an indication of our market conditions. So I talk about this every week. This is from the Cromford report that analyzes MLS data here in Phoenix. And any value in that Cromford index or market index that is over 110 means that we're in a seller's market. I will repeat, we are at 356. So we are very far into a seller's market right now. If you are below 90, you're in a buyer's market. So we are way far from that happening anytime soon. And what I wanted to talk about a little bit today is just to give a little bit more context on why they continue and I continue to say prices are not coming down anytime soon. So this market index looks at buyer demand and the supply in our market and seasonal factors, and that's how this value is created. And it's something that the Cromford report's been tracking for almost 20 years now, and looking back, you can see what these trends are and how it affects prices. If you watch any of my previous videos about the real estate market, I think last month when I did October, I talk a little bit more in depth about how this market index is an indicator of price appreciation and prices in our market. So you can watch that video and get a little bit more background. I'm not going to go into all of it here, but it has been a very true and telling factor for us over all this time, and essentially predicts prices. So when we are in a seller's market above 110, prices are expected to continue to rise. And for a little bit of history, in 2005, when we were, before the bubble, and there was a whole different scenario going on, but our market index was high, not as high as it is now. It was actually at 324 then, so it was a little bit lower. But at that time, in 2005, when the market index started going down, it took us 8 months for us to see prices to level off, not crash, but to level off. It took 8 months because we were so high on this scale. So right now we're sitting at 356. So it's reasonable to expect that it will take at least 8 months, if not 10 months, for us to get back into a balanced market if that market index starts to go down. And we haven't seen that go down at all, right? Every week I keep telling you, we slightly tick up higher and higher. It's going up at a much slower pace now than it was a few months ago. So until that starts to turn downwards, there really is no hope of prices going down. And at this point, it would probably take at least 8 to 10 months for us to even get to a balanced market if it turned and went downward today. And that's not happening yet. So that gives you a better idea of why I continue to say this. For instance, in 2013, the reading wasn't as high as it is now, but it took 6 months for us to get back to balance and see prices start to level off. And in 2010, the reading was much lower, but it took 2 months after it started to, the index started to go down. So my point being, it's going to take some time, and there will be a warning if prices are going to start going down here in Phoenix. So right now, no sign of that. Unfortunately, if you're a buyer. But the good news is buy now and ride that wave of appreciation, because it's coming for the next 8 to 10 months, most likely. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Now, what's interesting about this market too is that our supply has stayed pretty stable. Our supply is down 63%, but it's been sitting that way kind of since May. There really hasn't been all that much change. And previously, the biggest issue that we've had in this market is that we've had no supply and no inventory, and it kept going down. Well, now it's kind of holding steady. It's low, but it's holding steady. But what's really driving our market right now is buyer demand. And since May, that buyer demand has continued to go up and up and up. We're about 33% above normal for demand in our market. And so that's really the driving factor that is creating all of this pressure and increasing our prices. So just wanted to give an update on that and, add some perspective as to why we continue to say prices are not coming down. One of the things with buyer demand, I've talked a lot about inbound migration really being the reason why we've seen all of this buyer demand. And that's true, but there's also another factor, and it's rentals. So rental rates are going up faster than home prices right now. And so the average rental rate in Phoenix is about $17.95 a month, while the average mortgage rate in Phoenix is about $15.36 a month. So lots of folks that are renting, if they have the credit and are able to get a down payment together, which you don't need 20%, and I have videos on that if you're on the fence about that. So if you can afford to buy a house for those reasons, you're going to do that because your monthly payment will be lower buying a house. So that's also creating more of this buyer demand because renters are turning into buyers because it's actually cheaper to do that. So some interesting things that are going on in the market. Our new listings in October are up 5%. Our sales are up 22% over last year. And this is for October. So we've had the best October on record. And the number of homes under contract is up 31% over last October as well. There's just been a lot of sales taking place. So even though our inventory is low, like I said, it's not decreasing, and that buyer demand continues to increase. So we're just seeing tons of activity and contracts, and also tons of competition for that matter. So that's all I've got for today. I hope that's helpful. As always, if you have questions, call, text, email me, however you want to communicate. You can even comment below and let me know your questions. I'm happy to help you out with your situation, provide some guidance, and, of course, help you buy or sell a house if that's what you're looking to achieve. So until next week, I will be back with another update, and hopefully it's some more news that is positive and maybe something a little bit different. It'd be nice to see a bit of a change. I keep saying the same thing every week, but we'll see what happens. So I hope everybody has a good week. Thanks for watching.